What's up, YouTube? I just came back again from another day shooting at Galle Face where people are protesting against the incumbent government in Sri Lanka. And there was a lot of crowd, and it's a Friday evening, so people are just joining the protesters after their work. Families are coming in, and I saw a lot of children there, and I captured a lot of footage. I tried to trim it down so that it would be interesting, and I hope you enjoy this video, and I will share my thoughts on some of the things that I observed on a later post on my website www.streetphotography.com. Alright, so I hope you enjoy this. Please leave a comment if you do, and let me know how I can do better, how I can improve. Just have a look at this. Yeah, thank you.
So here we are on the Gold Road heading towards Galle Face Green. So right now I'm getting my camera ready. Today I'm shooting with Ricoh IIIx, my favorite camera for street photography. On my settings I have ISO at auto going all the way up to 6400. I'm shooting with f5.6 aperture, and based on the lighting condition I decided to shoot with shutter speed 1/250th. Usually this ranges from 100-125 to above if the light condition is good. So I'll be just walking around taking photographs, trying to help them kind of.
I want to see what it looks like.
Now seeing these children on top of this vehicle made me instantly think that I need to take a photograph of this. I tried a few different perspectives, but as you will see, the one that worked the best was when I got closer and tried to capture them against the sky as the background. When you see an interesting enough subject, sometimes you have to make it work. Basically what I mean by that is you need to try different perspectives, different shutter speeds perhaps. You need to try different things within that sphere as much as possible. So what you're seeing here is that me trying different angles, different perspectives, and trying to capture them in the most interesting way that I can. One of the most interesting challenges that you would get as a street photographer is that you have very little control over your subject. So you need to figure out ways, and you need to be creative enough to work around the difficulties that you get. Right now here you can see that people are walking by and they are getting in the way of my shot, and I'm not getting the outcome that I'm hoping to get out of this particular scene. So you will see me working around this, trying different angles, different perspectives. I'm trying to walk into the crowd and be part of the group and try to get close enough to capture this particular scene with enough interest to be in one of my photographs. One of the ways that you can make your street photography interesting is by looking at them as a collective than individual images. So here I'm capturing this particular image, even though it might not be an interesting subject on its own, but in a collective, it would add to the overall story. One of the biggest strengths a street photographer has is his or her ability to walk into a crowd without being noticed, be blending in, and that helps sometimes capture some of the most interesting scenes that you will encounter on the street. I saw a few members of the Sri Lanka Red Cross Society trying to take a group photo here. So I offered to take a few photographs for them on their mobile phones, just to show that we care and we are grateful for the service that they provide. So one thing I noticed here is that as the light keeps going down, my ISO is steadily rising as well. If you see that the next few images are going above ISO 1000, so I'm still comfortable with that, but at one point I'll have to start compromising on my shutter speed or my aperture. I noticed this child holding a flag from a distance, but as I got closer I realized that this was a little bit of a difficult shot because there were so many other distractions between my lens and the subject. So as usual I had to bid my time wait and capture the image that I wanted to capture. So coming up next is also another difficult shot that I had to take on this excursion. First thing is the policeman got a bit agitated because I was there photographing. He might have thought that I'm capturing him on the image, but I was not actually. My subject was someone else, but people kept on getting in the way of my shot, and sometimes I was getting pushed here and there. But I finally managed to position myself in a way that I could capture a very interesting image here. With the diminishing light, I had to compromise on my shutter speed and my aperture. So I brought my shutter speed all the way down to 1/160th and aperture to f4. I could go lower, but at this point in time, I didn't want to compromise more than that. After like 2-3 shots, I had to bring my ISO down to a manageable level, so I had to compromise on my shutter speed and aperture gain. So I ended up bringing my shutter speed down all the way to 1/60th. That's as low as I would go, or I would feel comfortable on a street scenario. And I brought my aperture down to f2.8. so I had to be very careful on how I focus because of the very shallow depth of field here. So even with a shutter speed of 1/60th at an aperture of f2.8, my ISO was being pushed all the way to 4000 to get the proper exposure, and this is a little bit out of my comfort zone for regular street photography. Doing night street photography has its own challenges, so maybe in a future video I will cover some of the techniques that I use when I do night street photography. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please like this video and subscribe to my channel.